If you've ever looked at your child's health journey and thought, how am I doing so much and still feeling so stuck? You are not the only one. A mom said almost those exact words to me during a phone consult a few weeks ago. She told me, I feel like I've never done more for my child, but somehow we're still in the same place. And honestly, I hear some version of that from parents all the time. So many parents find themselves in this exact place, doing everything that they know to do and still feeling stuck. Specialist after specialist, countless appointments, prescriptions, holistic options, functional medicine, diet changes, routine changes, always searching for the one thing that will finally help their child feel better. They're working so hard, and yet it can feel like you're just spinning your wheels. That place is exhausting. It leaves parents wondering if they're missing something, if they should be trying harder, or if the answer is somewhere they just have not looked yet. It can feel frustrating, overwhelming, and defeating when you are giving everything that you have and you're still not seeing the progress that you hope for. But what if the answer isn't about doing more? What if the real breakthrough comes from doing things in the right order? Because healing is rarely about piling on more therapies, more supplements, or more appointments. It's about understanding the sequence. When we can trace back the exact pathway of stress that pushed your child's nervous system into overload in the first place, we can stop chasing symptoms and start addressing the root cause. That's where real change happens. So sometimes less really is more when it's the right thing at the right time in the right order. Now, this video is for parents who feel stuck in the endless cycle of doctor's visits, medications, therapies, and still aren't seeing lasting improvements in their child's health and development. We're going to talk about the often overlooked connection between nervous system regulation and healing, and why starting there may be the biggest shift that your family has been missing. And the truth is, this is not just your family's story, it's happening everywhere. Right now, 2 in 5 children in the United States are dealing with a chronic health condition. So from allergies and asthma to ADHD, anxiety, sensory challenges, and autism, we are seeing more kids struggling than ever before. The rates of these pediatric challenges have risen dramatically over the last few decades, and for so many parents, it feels like everyone is searching for answers, but no one is explaining why this is happening. What makes it even more frustrating is that we have more medical advancements, we've had more specialists, and more treatment options than ever before. Yet so many families still feel stuck in the same exhausting cycle. Another doctor, another medication, another therapy, another recommendation, hoping this next thing will finally be the answer. And while many of those tools absolutely have their place, parents are often left wondering why nothing seems to create the deep, lasting change they were hoping for. That's because too often we're treating symptoms without ever addressing the foundation. The foundation we have to start with is the nervous system. Now that sounds simple, but when it comes to helping your child heal, less is more really starts with going back to the basics. Healing is not just about what you do, it's about the order in which you do those things. Development follows a sequence, and when stress builds physically, chemically, and emotionally during those early stages, it can throw that entire process off track. That is why we always look first at the one piece that is often so overlooked in traditional pediatric care: nervous system regulation, especially vagus nerve function. Now, the nervous system is the master controller of the body. It coordinates every major system and keeps everything working together the way it's supposed to. So when the nervous system becomes stuck in stress mode and loses balance, it creates ripple effects everywhere. Sleep gets disrupted, digestion slows down, the immune system struggles, motor coordination becomes harder, sensory processing becomes overwhelming, behavior challenges like tantrums, meltdowns, and emotional outbursts become more frequent because the body is constantly operating from a place of stress instead of safety. That is why when we are trying to understand what is really going on with a child, we start by looking at the basics of neurophysiological function. How are they sleeping? How are they eating and digesting? How are they getting sick, or are they getting sick all the time? Are they able to regulate emotions, process sensory input, and move through their day with ease? Now, if these are struggles, and they often are signs that the nervous system is under stress and out of balance. So the next question becomes, how does the nervous system get this dysregulated in the first place? Now, for most kids, we see stress build in a very predictable pattern. It often starts during pregnancy with high levels of maternal stress, complications, or a high-risk pregnancy. Then it moves into birth, where interventions like induction, C-sections, forceps, vacuum delivery, breech positioning, or cord complications can create additional stress on a baby's developing nervous system. Then early childhood adds another layer with antibiotics, medications, environmental toxins, and repeated immune stress. When all of these stressors stack together, we call it the perfect storm. So this is why so many symptoms seem connected. The sleep issues, the constipation, the sensory struggles, behavior challenges, and the constant sickness are often not separate problems at all. They are different expressions of the same underlying nervous system stress that started much earlier in development. Now, the reason this matters so much is because the nervous system is the boss. It starts developing around day 16 after conception, and it is designed to be the control center for everything else. So gut health, immune function, hormones, motor development, and emotional regulation, they all depend on a nervous system that is functioning well. When the nervous system gets thrown off track early, everything downstream tends to struggle. That is why children with chronic neurodevelopmental challenges like ADHD, autism, sensory processing difficulties, or anxiety so often also deal with digestive problems, immune challenges, poor sleep, and motor coordination struggles. A stressed nervous system compounds problems. But the opposite is also true. When the nervous system becomes adaptable, resilient, and regulated, the entire body functions better. Kids are able to handle growth, development, immune challenges, emotional stress, and the everyday demands of life with so much more ease. Now, here's the truth. Stress is not going away. We can clean up food, reduce toxins, improve routines, and make healthier choices. And all of those things do matter, but we cannot create a perfect, stress-free world for our kids. What we can do is help build a nervous system that is strong enough to handle the world they live in. This is where less becomes more. For parents, it is so easy to feel like you have to say yes to everything that might help. Another therapy, another supplement, another specialist, another plan. And while many of those tools can be valuable, progress often feels slow because when we're trying to support systems that are not fully able to receive that help yet. So when we focus on the nervous system regulating first, everything else works way better. This is why sequence matters. Natural therapies, holistic care, biomedical approaches, and nutrition changes, They can be incredibly helpful. But when the nervous system is dysregulated, it is like trying to build a house on an unstable foundation. We have to start with the brain and the body's ability to regulate first. Now at E320, that's what really starts by measuring the nervous system objectively through our neurological insight scans. Now these scans allow us to see exactly how your child's central nervous system is functioning, where stress is building, where regulation is breaking down, and what needs to be prioritized first. So instead of guessing, we create a clear neurological roadmap. We find the batting order. We identify what will create the most momentum with the least amount of unnecessary effort so your child's healing can finally move forward in the right direction. Now, if your child's nervous system is off track and stuck in stress mode, it makes sense that you feel like something is missing, even when you are doing everything you possibly can. So many parents end up exhausted, overwhelmed, and wondering why all the effort still is not creating the lasting progress that they had hoped for. The truth is, it may not be that you need to do more. It may be that you simply need to start in a different place. So when we focus on nervous system regulation first, we stop chasing the symptoms and we start building the foundation for real healing. That is where less truly becomes more. So less guessing, less trial and error, less overwhelm, and so much more clarity, momentum, and lasting progress. If this sounds like your family, if you have been stuck in a cycle of appointments, therapies, and still feel like you are searching for answers, we want you to know that you are not alone. There is hope and there is a better way forward. Ask the question that has been sitting at the back of your mind. Reach out, send us a message, give our office a call, or start the conversation. We are here to help you find answers, to create a plan, and help your child heal from the inside out.